Hey everyone, Michael Hammond here for your Monday morning fuel up. It is January 27th. We are in the last week of January. The year is flying by. Hope all of you guys had a wonderful weekend. I had another great weekend. It was just a productive weekend. A lot of good quality family time with a balance of still getting some projects done, some work things done. But as I always say, it's a chance to think, it's a chance to ponder. I usually get to read and listen to some podcasts while I'm doing some of the activities, and I always try to reflect on the discussions and the conversations I had the previous week. And that's really what I want to focus on this week. So I hope all of you guys had a great weekend. We're in the last month of January. For those that set resolutions, most of those have already been broken. For those that have set goals, they're frustrated that they haven't hit them or anything like that. And let's start analyzing really where we're at so far here in January. It's not time to throw in the towel. It may be time to pivot. It may be time to regroup and get refocused. But in reflecting on a lot of those conversations, had some statements that really stuck with me, some more alarming than others, some very optimistic and strategic. One of the comments by an executive was, yeah, we're not going to do email this year. It didn't work. Like, wow, what a broad stroke statement. And I hear people make statements like that, whether it's about email or we're not attending those conferences. It wasn't a very good conference. I think it's important to be strategic and really look at, was that conference bad, or was your approach and strategy to it bad? I have dozens of clients, and a lot of them many of them go to the same conference. So I always find it amazing when one person says, boy, that conference sucked, and the other one says it was a great conference. Or one says email doesn't work, and the other one's killing it with email. So what does that cause me to do? Ask why. What's the strategy? And a lot of times when I hear people say, wasn't a great conference, they only look at a number. Did we generate any business from it? Nope. We didn't generate business. We're not going to that again. The real questions have to be, did you have a strategy for that event or conference? And more importantly, how well was that event and that conference executed? Oh, well, we didn't get the email list until 2 weeks before the attendee list, and it didn't include emails, and it didn't include phone numbers, and our sales reps reached out to a dozen people, and they only scheduled 2 meetings. Not a great plan and terrible execution. Don't wait for the list for this year to come out. You can start emailing 8 weeks before using last year's list. If you don't have a tool that helps you get email addresses and phone numbers and contact list, you're already behind the 8 ball. So what happens is a lot of predictions are coming out this year of rates are not going to dramatically fall. Volume may improve a little bit, but not significantly. There's probably not going to be a huge refi boom. So now some companies are starting to panic a little. And another conversation I had with the CEO, he made a fantastic statement. You can't cut your way to growth. Too many companies now, they're starting to panic a little. Well, let's not go to that trade show. We'll save 15,000 here. We'll cut this. We'll cut that. In survival mode, sometimes you have to go into survival mode, but you can't be in survival mode year after year after year. You're not going to be around. You can't cut your way to growth. Now, he made another very incredible statement, a poignant statement that I think is important to understand, but challenge everything. Isn't that true, right? Can't cut your way to growth. But it doesn't mean that you should just be frivolous with your money and just go to a trade show because everyone else is going. Is that your target audience? Do you have strategic messaging? Do you have a strategy and a plan to be successful? Oh, we're just going to cut email. Is it email that doesn't work? Well, no, I know a ton of companies that are killing it with email. Maybe it's you don't understand your target audience. Maybe you don't have a good subject line. Maybe you're not doing A/B testing. Maybe you should do some that is just text and some that has very strong graphical representation. Maybe you've got to change up your messaging. Maybe it's too long. Maybe it's too short. All of those things you should challenge. And when that CEO said challenge everything, it's not just from a marketing perspective, from a sales perspective, from a product development perspective. What type of products and services are you bringing to the market? Are you just enhancing some of the tools you have because you think that's kind of cool and that's the latest buzz? Or is it solving a pain point or addressing an opportunity for your target audiences? So as you focus on this week and trade show season hits, right? IMB is in full swing. Servicing will come up next week. I'll be at servicing. I look forward to seeing a number of you at servicing. You've got to be strategic with your approach leading up to shows. You've got to be very strategic and intentional when at shows, and you've got to have a plan for follow-up after. But remember, it always comes down to growing and fostering relationships, not just checking an item off of the checklist to say, yep, done, 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 done. And you lost focus of why you're going to a trade show. You lost focus of why you're having those genuine conversations. So this week, let's get more strategic. Let's be more intentional. You can't grow by cutting, but you've got to be more strategic by questioning and challenging everything. Go out there and have an amazing week and always be adding value.